It's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Just like that. I'm sorry to get on like that, Playboy.
No, you're right.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, depending on where you are. We are live in multiple places. We're live on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and LinkedIn on this Memorial Day. I hope everyone is getting what they want to do. Hopefully you're off. If you're not, hey, you're making money, baby. So, hey, bills still got to be paid.
They still got to be paid. Nah, so
Yeah,
get your barbecue and get your cash up.
Oh yeah, today's topic: can you wholesale real estate without cold calling? Is today's topic. So we're going to get into that in a few minutes. Make sure you let us know where you're located, city and state, if possible. Chevy's in on the beach somewhere. I can't think what he said the name of that beach. Saint something. I know there's tons of quote unquote beaches down there. So he's based out of Tampa. Torian's in the Memphis area, and I'm in Birmingham, Alabama. So make sure you like this, share it wherever you are. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Tap the little bell so you are alerted when we do go live. And when we upload new content, I'm going to try to get a new video up to date, a long form video. So enough of that. Let's get it.
All right. Gary Rawls checking in, said good morning, good afternoon. Jamming Our Ways is here, so let's get it. Phil says, thought take a day off, Flip. We keep it moving, okay?
Yeah, I probably would if Torian didn't hit me up and say, hey, we getting on today, and I thought about it for a second. And I said, yeah.
Let's get on.
Hey, the man said, I can't think what the guy's name is. The reason Asians tend to achieve more, they just work harder. They're not smarter, just working harder. So here we are.
RL says, good afternoon. The homie Ron said, hello, everyone from Kansas City, Missouri, the town. Illuminated Light says, great arising. Okay, great rising. Phil W said, was not expecting the notification, doing research, drinking coffee. Okay.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Phil W.
Jim and I always said, thanks for being here, Ty. Was hoping you'd be here today. Happy day all. And Extreme Home Properties, my first time seeing you here. Have the We Buy Homes icon. Said, what's up, my guys? And Illuminated Light, it says she's from Terrell, Texas. Okay. All right. And let me see. Vanessa Ryans, welcome back to the live from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Familiar with Tuscaloosa? And Stephen Vaughn said, hello, all Philly, Pennsylvania in the house. Hope your weekend was okay. And then Matthew Helm, welcome from Orlando, Florida. You're getting a lot of sun right now. Justice Artist is saying, checking in from Newport News, Virginia. Day Darden, welcome back. Day, hello guys, always good to see you all. And Gemini always said, how do you come to an offer price for a property that is vacant, off market? And P.S. good looking out, Torian, for asking about today. Okay. All right. And RL says Tanner, Alabama. Now, where's that at? Tanner, Alabama. That's
I've heard of it before. I couldn't tell you which direction that one is in, though. But
I've seen that city name. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Marietta, Georgia. Okay. And Jay Smooth is checking in, says rich rising, everyone. Okay. I like the motivational keywords. Come on now. and he's coming in from Athens, Decatur, and Huntsville. Okay.
Mm.
Charles Batten, welcome back to the live. I haven't seen you in a while. Best show in town. Good AM, boys. I have a friend who's a buyer. Don't want them to pay retail. Can I act on their behalf with an agent that they're dealing with? I guess.
He has a buyer. Can he act on their behalf on an agent that he's dealing with? Well, that's going to be a conversation that you have with him if he needs you or not. You know, what value of you are bringing to the table? Does he just want to give you some money? But what value are you bringing to the table?
I guess if is he listening to you about paying retail? Does he want to pay retail? Is it not?
No, this needs to be someone that has cash now. It can't be traditional financing going through a bank or whatever now. Again, unless they just want to just break you off something outside of a closing. Otherwise, what value are you bringing to the table?
Yeah. Would you say most people that's doing the deals that we do are paying cash? Most of them not doing financing.
Yeah, they not. They may use. Some people may have a line of credit, but that's still. I guess a better way of explaining it, you're not going through the normal hoops that it takes to get a mortgage of a house that you're living in. Right? So the other forms of financing can be private. It could just be your money or a combination. It could be they may have a line of credit, you know. So, but that's still not traditional financing. Like the hoops, they don't have to jump through any hoops to access the funds. You know, well, the same type of hoops. Let me just say that. Normally, they can close fairly quickly within 2 to 3 weeks, regardless.
He followed up his statement. He said, "No, I just don't want him to pay retails with agents, so I can act on his behalf to bring the price down."
Well, you mean like help negotiate?
That's what it sounds.
That's what he's saying. Yeah. So yeah, again,
he said he is using a mortgage.
Yeah, if he's using a mortgage, then he's just going to have to pay you out of his pocket to help him, because the lender's not going to pay you anything.
What, they're not going. What part did you play?
Yeah.
Make money on it. Let me make sure Instagram is up. And if you have some properties that you want to get comp, I know we talk about a lot of stuff on this show. We still do comps if you have them and you want us to look at them, land or property. Jay Smooth is saying, I contacted you yesterday, which is Sunday, about this house, and I wanted you to look over it to see if it's a good deal.
Okay, we would need an address. Oh, I think you just emailed me back. I think. Let me see. Yeah, that was the property that they're asking like 12 million for. I'm like, so my follow-up to him when I took a look at it, I said, why did you pursue this property? So if you could help me understand, why would you pursue that property? Because there's nothing special about it, just a high dollar property that's going to require a special type of buyer for it. You know, your buying pool is going to be very limited on that, unless you just get a like significant, like they're asking 12 million, you can get it for 6. Okay, we might can find somebody for that or whatever, but it's like it's been for sale for a couple of years or whatever. Might have been longer than that, I think, when I looked at it. Let me.
So that's probably not the number.
No, that's definitely not the number.
That's not the number.
But they don't. They probably have zero motivation. You know, if they sell it. They we start talking about people like that. Not that you can't find motivated sellers in that world. But it's just a different ball game, you know. Like, but my more important to me, why did you even target that one? Right? What stood out to you to make you target this property here? So it's been on the market 963 days. They're not motivated, man. That's what is that? 3 years? Going on 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
2.5 for sure. Yeah, but again, my thing to try to help him, why would you even target this property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not sure, you know, he would have to answer your question, but I think sometimes because you feel like the number is so large, it's impossible for you not to make money. But it depends, you know, like, I mean, a lot of times in places like that, the person not motivated, they might get more than what they're asking, you know?
Yeah, you know, but just it's been on the market almost 2.5 years, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but still.
It ain't, it's,
They probably, they not, they
my
don't need.
whole thing is like, why did you target this property? That's
Yeah.
what I want to understand, because it'll help others also. So I'm sure I want to understand why before I assume anything.
Oh, okay. He followed up his thing. What did he say? He said, actually, they want 17 million because they have some property on the land also. But our question, Ty's question is, why did you?
Yeah. Regardless, why did you target the property? Yeah.
Why did you target it? That's what we're trying to figure out. Because
why would you even target that?
okay, what he's saying. And I went through the KISS method, but I see there is the cost problem. That's why I needed your help.
Yeah. Like, again, that ain't answering my question, because I seen the form that you sent over. Just think about it now. You have to think through this stuff. I know I give you instructions, but some of it's had, a lot of it has nuances. $1,000 earnest money on a $12 million property. Come on now. Yeah. So that's why I'm trying to get to make sure that you're going in the right direction. Because we all want big numbers or whatever, but in the famous words of Ron LeGrand, let's handle today's bills now, right? So again, why would you target that property, right? And the KISS method would work on that. If you get them to take a 35% discount off of $12 million, I don't know what the math is on that, but I can do it really quick. We got it right here. All I do is just add it and just do it. Let me see. So you'll be around 8 million or so. Yeah, okay. So if you could get, but see, the thing about when you start dealing with a property like here, like in that price range, 12 million may not even be the real number on what someone's willing to pay, right? Like, would it even appraise for that, right? So, that's the trick. You're not going to have a bunch of comps unless you're somewhere in Los Angeles somewhere. But in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, ain't a lot of $12 million properties. You see what I'm saying? So what are you even comparing it to, right? But again, my initial question is still, why target that property? Because I'm not trying to be funny or anything. I want
and I'm not,
so
because he's not responding.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say, like, I feel like sometimes a person, he can correct me, but it's like, why deal with a house that's $100,000 if I could just go straight into $1 million homes? But the lower price houses, you can make you're more apt to actually find somebody that will take less.
There are more people you use 100K. There's more people with 100. Well, as far as what we're trying to do, there's more people with $120,000, $130,000 laying around than 12, 14, 15 million laying around, right? It is that simple, right? Again, if you were in Los Angeles where a $12 million house is normal, then okay, we're talking a different ball game. But in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, that's an outlier, right? It's going to take a special buyer for that, because I don't even know how they come up with that number of 12 million.
And he said he's sent an offer. Well, I guess you would have sent an offer because you're doing kids. I sent out the offer and she contacted me on it, if that makes sense.
Because you probably the only one that has reached out to her. It's been for sale for 3 years.
Yeah, I was just talking to my wife that even in the Memphis area, Memphis has $1 million homes, but it's not like a ton of them. You know what I'm saying? Like 12 million, stuff like that.
No. You'll have a lot of 7-figure deals in Memphis, Birmingham. You'll have, quite a few of those. But now you're talking 8 figures.
Yeah.
With 12. Yeah. Now you're talking 8 figures. Again, Los Angeles, New York, the Bay Area and San Francisco, Miami area, that's not abnormal, right? But this is an outlier property. What justifies that number or whatever. So, but again, I guess he didn't answer, so I won't ask it again. So let's move on.
He probably follow up again as far as like I guess because it has the connotation that you're targeting homes in that price range. Is the reason why we're trying to figure out why you're in that price range.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're trying to figure out. Like,
it's just a different ball game though. But see, even with that, you sent over. See, they would expect an earnest money, probably a minimum. What's 1% of 100K? A minimum of 100K to even take you serious. Yeah. Not $1,000.
100K.
That's what I'm saying. I want him to understand when you start to deal in those worlds, then they're gonna want proof of funds. Can you prove that you can pay for this? Yeah. The agent called you back because she's not getting any offers, right? That's why it's been for sale for 936 days. That's over two years, approaching 3, right? So that's why she responded back or whatever. But when it got down to it, they were going to want you to come up with a lot more earnest money, in your offer, along with proof that you can pay for it, right? So.
And it's good that you took action. It just, I think what Ty is saying is that don't be spending your time on things that you can.
Yeah, if you're going to do a deal like that, you have to have the right tools and resources in place to do a deal like that, right? But that's not an opportunity, regardless. That's not an opportunity right there. You'd have to have some. When you start dealing in deals like that, you have to. Like I said, you have to have the right resources. I am putting up $100,000. That still ain't even 1%. Well, I'm putting up $100,000. Here's my proof of funds. Okay, now they're gonna listen to you, and they would take 8 million, but I don't even know if that still will be a deal or not because it's probably not going to be enough to compare it to in that market. Again, if this was in Los Angeles, New York City, those areas where those are common transactions. Okay, then we're talking about something. Then if you can get them to take that type of reduction on it. So,
and this is an extremely nice house, and it's been sitting on the market for 3 years.
Yeah. Oh, it's overpriced. People are buying. It's. I have no idea. It's probably really worth probably about 3 or 4 million in reality. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 5 or whatever. But they're not tripping about the money. Whoever owns it. They're not motivated. Right? And so they'll sit there until the market catches up, or they say, I got one. I don't know, somebody, I got one. Somebody got more money than sense. That does exist.
And he said, right, I need your opinion on it. I wasn't expecting to get it. Yeah, I would have felt like the person would reach back out to me either, though, but she did. But it still is the numbers.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I'm shocked. I'm kind of shocked that they reached back out. But people will reach back out to you. They feel like, hey.
Well, it sounds like we may be dealing with someone that's professional. She's not. She doesn't know who she's dealing with, right?
All right. So we got that one. Okay. Gemini Way said, hi again. You read the question, and you are right. I don't think we answered the question for you, Gemini Ways, but I didn't think you answered. How do you come to an offer price for a property that is vacant or off market?
Well, in the kids training, that's one of the ways that I show you. You're going to look at Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor. Hopefully those values are close to each other. Throw it into the to the KISS offer generator, and it'll give you an offer.
Same way. And Charles Martin is asking Ty, bro, can we look at this piece of land? You probably put the address in, but sometimes YouTube will block the address. So just put it in again, Charles, if you did. But yeah, we could look at land. And the homie Ron, this must be some land. Comp land used to be a house. And this is in his hometown in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, let me don't take it off. Let me
Okay.
pull it up here.
Oh, I forgot to say with the TikTok. You got a TikTok?
Yeah.
But I didn't say the address though. I just said Kansas City. Yes, okay.
Florida.
And by the way, Jazz, the investor on Instagram, yes. The question he asked, can I get comps from you, Flip? Yeah. If you put the address in, we can take a look at it.
Do our best. All right. So there used to be a house there. I'll just throw this into Land Insights really quick. Not going to be much on something like this from their value there. We'll see though. What's up? Let me see. Let's see here. What am I doing? Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit. So it is a vacant. So that's 37th and Flora. Okay. 37th and Flora. I think it's this one right here. Must be this one. No. Is it this one? Nope.
You were showing the screen though.
You said, am I showing the screen?
No, you're not.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Well, you're not go ahead and show it now. You can remove that.
Okay.
All right. So I'm trying to find it. Let's see here. So I got it's 30. Let's see. It's jumping.
Yeah.
It's jumping. So let me try this here. Let me do one more thing here. All right. So let's do it in Land ID. What state was this? Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. Mm-hmm.
I just need to see who name on it. Okay. There we go. So it's this one right here. It's just the address is different. Okay, cool. That's fine. All right. So I'm only showing it's worth $4,000 or so. 4,800, somewhere in there. So stuff like this cheap, you're trying to get it for $500 or $1,000.
$500 to $1,000. Okay.
Yeah. Now, but let me back up. The it says Kansas City, Missouri Homesteading Authority, so it's not even for sale. It's like the local government owns this property.
RL, do you or do you not recommend seeking out pre-foreclosure? Sellers would have a sort of forced motivation to sell and would likely owe way less than what the market would probably sell for.
Yeah, just naturally, it would make sense to target pre-foreclosures, and a lot of people do that at a high level, and make money from it, targeting pre-foreclosures. Most people, when they think about real estate investing, they think about, they discounted real estate. They think about foreclosures or pre-foreclosures. So what is a pre-foreclosure? First of all, a pre-foreclosure is when someone has stopped making payments to the lender, and the lender felt like they've exhausted all options to work with you on, and they start the foreclosure process to take the property back, to get ownership and try to recoup some of their investment and reduce their risk. All right, so where does the opportunity lie? So if that person is not making payments on that house, and that's shelter, probably after food, shelter is going to be the most important thing to us as human beings, then they should be highly motivated to get out of that situation, either hook or crook, by hook or crook. But, obviously there wouldn't be just thousands of foreclosures available, because when there's actual foreclosure and they put it back on the market for sale, that means the lender has taken it back 4, 5, 6 months, or may have passed by, and they put it back on the market through a realtor. So the foreclosure, it went from a pre-foreclosure to an actual full foreclosure. All right. So yeah, naturally you're like, oh wow, yeah. So let me tell you where the issues lie. Now, some people run their entire business based on targeting pre-foreclosures and can make a significant living on that. But I'm just going to give you what to expect though. Just like you're thinking about targeting them, many others are. So those people can be very difficult to reach. Just think about it. If you're not paying that bill, more than likely a lot of other bills are not getting paid. So, when you don't pay somebody, guess what happens? Those collection calls start, right? So card note may be behind, student loans, child support, credit cards. I can go on and on, right? So you're getting calls from all types of people, right? And so now you're calling, and 30 other investors like you are trying to reach them also. Call, direct mail, text messaging, knocking on their door, all kind of stuff, right? So let's just say you're the lucky one. Yeah, okay, well, let's just go through it. You try to call them, can't get them on the phone. That's the first layer. Well, get a correct number for them is the first layer. Get an actual working phone number for them. Let's assume, okay, the phone is ringing. The phone is ringing. Will they answer? If they do answer, will they even have a conversation with you? If they do have a conversation with you, are they even interested in selling? You'll think that they would, right? Trust me, it ain't that. Again, we wouldn't have foreclosures if that was the case, right? Mm-hmm. All right, let's assume they do want to sell. You say, well, it seems like they want to sell at a price so they can just get out of it. No, they owe 120. The house is worth 300 and it's in good condition. Guess how much they want, Tori? 300.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they really have negotiating power in that sense. They can do whatever they want to. It's up to them. It's their property. They let it go back to the bank, and that's what a lot of people do. Before I give it to you and let you make money off my situation, I'll just let it go back to the lender. A lot of people feel that way. Mm-hmm. Then you're gonna have those that, it's a miracle. I prayed and it came down. Not saying that's not possible, but that should you're not on the street.
Wow, definitely for flawed thinking.
You're not on the street. I'm just saying. All right, but that's some of it too. So now let's get down to, let's say they do want to work with you and they do want to sell and do whatever you want them to do, right? So it may be a situation where go back to that same property. Instead of them owing 120, they owe 280 on a property that's only worth 300. So now you're going to have a couple of options. You're going to have to go through a short sale process through the lender, and the short sale is basically going to the lender and asking them will they discount the property to make sense. That process could easily take 3, 4, 5, 6 months just to get an answer back from the lender on a price that may not even work for you. They go down from 280 to 260. That doesn't work for you as a wholesale deal. Then the other option is, and what Chevy does a lot of, is now you may take it over through some owner financing or whatever through a subject to or whatever, and that's a possibility. But I'm just taking you through that entire process to let you know that it ain't easy. It ain't just simple. It'd be great if you were the only one who knew that they were going through that pre-foreclosure situation, but you're not. So now you make your decision if you want to pursue that.
Right. There's definitely money in it because a lot of other people just don't.
Oh, yeah.
So it's money.
I'm just giving you what to expect.
All right. Everything Sway. It's my first time seeing you here. Welcome to the live. What are you guys' best lead sources?
Well, because of the amount of content I put out there, that's my best at this point because it's free. People and I just partner with them, whatever. But so much money being spent right now. We're testing text messaging, not going as well as I thought it would be at this point. But some of that's going to be list or whatever. We'll figure that part of it out. I know it works or whatever. But and then we're about to do some direct mail. I'll probably say the most recent stuff that worked best for me is really based on the topic, which is cold calling. But I'm gonna give you some different options here. But like I say, I'm always trying to test different stuff on top of what's already working. So to answer your question, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So Jay Smooth, he had followed up. He said, I did the numbers and it didn't add up right. So I reached out to you to see if you should see something different. But yeah, thank you. And he's answering the question like why.
Well, technically, still ain't answer why.
I know. Well, let me say this. So yeah. I think Jay Smooth, you can correct me, but the reason why we're asking the questions because you're not the only one that will see red flags on a deal. You yourself know that the earnest money deposit that Ty talked about, it's been sitting on the market. It's a $12 million home. Then when you talk to the lady, she says she actually wants 17 million. All of these would be red flags where you just move on. But also, why would you be looking for houses in that price range in Tennessee?
Yes, that's what I was really trying to get to. So
if you can answer that.
Ain't no wrong answer.
There's no wrong answer. You're not wrong or anything. I'm not being wrong.
Because you may give me a way of looking at it. I haven't looked at it before. So ain't no wrong answer. I just like to know. I just know what I think why you shouldn't target it. But again, you may be thinking something different that I'm not aware of. So
and let me say this, and thanks for reminding me, Sherry Thomas on Instagram. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. I don't think we said that. Oh, you did say it? Okay, well, great. Okay.
But no, we can say it again.
Yeah, we can say it again. Happy Memorial Day. Okay, you did say it. Okay. And okay, Jazz, the investor, he never did put the property in. But if you want to get a property comp, put it in the chat and we'll do it. All right, Charles. He has a property that's in Staten Island, New York. Now, this property has 3 separate titles. That's interesting. I tried to look at it on Zillow. It's not for sale. It's a church property, and I think a private piece of land.
Yeah, I couldn't help you on that.
I think Charles has told us about a church before.
Yeah, in churches, I have no idea to do with that. Something to do with stuff like that. Outside of going back to be another church or whatever. So I wouldn't know what to do with that, Charles.
All right.
Maybe
go ahead. What is that?
Maybe one day, but not
maybe one day. Maybe not. Oh, and I was thinking I found this on a vacant derelict list. I would start around 450 to 500K, purchased in 2019 for 335, based on ARV approximately 1.2. I have the address if you need.
Let's take a look. Is this something she's spoken to the owner on, or what's the situation, Jim? Is this a listed property or what?
Let's see. Yeah, give us the address, Gemini Ways, and we'll take a look at it. Charlotte, got your. I'm assuming these is your daughters. on the live. Welcome to the live. It's my first time seeing you here. Can you comp? And this is in Jacksonville, Florida, 32234.
Okay. Jacksonville.
Oh, right. No. Properties by the ocean.
Sure is, isn't it? That's on water. All right. So what's the who property was this?
This is Charlotte. Like I said, this is my first time seeing this person on here.
Yeah. What's the deal? It's not for sale or whatever. So like I'm showing
Kiss or something.
yeah, just 1.3 million. What we need some context here. What are you trying to do here? Have you spoken to the owner, or if you can give us a little feedback on it?
And she's just saying she wants to get it comped. Are you in touch with the
what's the feedback on it?
Okay, so Jay Smooth, we came with a different look at it. He said, I was targeting that price range. I was searching that area, and that property was in there.
Okay. But so he sort of answered it, but just understand, Jay Smooth, is that again, just think about it. All right. So you have and it may be hard for you to wrap your mind around this, but just go with me. Stay with me. I am trying to sell a $12 million property. Someone sends me an offer over. They did offer lower than what I'm asking, but they put on the agreement that they would put up $1,000 earnest money deposit on my $12 million property. Would you take them serious? He may do. I'm just telling you, most people are not. They normally just do 1%. If you're not sure what 1% of 12 million is, 10% is 1.2 million. $120,000 is 1%. They would be expecting at least 1% earnest money in the offer. And they want you to send over proof you can pay for it. So we can get proof of funds probably up to $1 million or $2 million or whatever with just little suit service. And they, when we start talking about those type of numbers, that's just a different animal. The numbers don't scare me. Somebody send me a deal right now with that price on it. I'm confident that it's worth 12, but they will accept 6. I'll find a buyer for it. Right. But before we even approach them, I know we have to become right for them to even take us serious. Right. $1,000 earnest money deposit in a lot of cases may not even be enough on a $500,000 property. In reality, it just I know when I give instructions, it's just hard for me to give you every nuance. It's just sometimes you're just gonna have to get the basics of stuff and bump your head to see, oh, Flip Man never said this or whatever. Because I just can't prepare you for every scenario. But some stuff is just, you just got to think through it. Like, this is $12 million. How are these people? This ain't $120,000 property. It's not even a $1.2 million. This is a significant playing field. Why would they take me serious on something like this, right? And then that property has other red flags, but like the biggest red flag has been sale for almost 3 years. There's no motivation there. There's none. They want what they want. They don't probably need the money. They may live in, I don't know, Switzerland somewhere, and just another property they had. If we sell it, we sell it. Just like with Michael Jordan house in Chicago. I think that property's been for sale for.
They just sold it.
Oh, they just sold it, but it had.
Just sold it. I saw the article. Yeah, I think they turned it into an Airbnb.
Yeah, I think it had been for sale for 10 plus, just a ridiculous time frame. You need the money.
Need the money. You don't need.
We need the money.
So he did follow up, and let me put my two piece in. You definitely explaining it well. He said, "No, my bad. I didn't send the offer yet. I was bringing it to you first to see
Okay.
if this is right." And I don't want you to feel like Jay Smooth that you're getting ignored, but sometimes because he did, Ty, you did respond to him. You know what I'm saying? So you got to respond.
Yeah, he emailed him back. I asked him what the question. I asked him live here.
Yeah,
Before I would even evaluate something like that, I want to know. I'm like, why would you tell you? Because he may know something I don't know about the deal. You know what I'm saying?
And it might be, I don't know what Jay Smooth, what his experience is. Maybe he's sold houses like that before.
I know that. That's why I'm not assuming too much. That's why that's why I asked him. I didn't even, after I looked at the address, how much they want, I looked at his offer. I just posed a question. I just emailed them back and said, why did you target this property? Because he may know something I don't know. He may actually know the people and know that they're willing to sell it for this low, but you still got to go. He may have to still go through the agent or something. He may know someone that knows them, that knows the situation, that they actually do need the money. Now, I didn't see that, and as long as it's been sold for sale, I didn't see that. But again, he may have some insight.
I have no experience at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Well, that's why you're here then.
Hey, and I appreciate you being candid.
That's what we want. Yeah. So stay out of that realm.
Yeah, it might not be the best. May not. It's not the target.
No. Don't fool with that. Yeah, if you know experience, just definitely don't fool in that world. Yeah. Not saying you can't get there, but
for sure. And Gemini ways, I'm gonna get with you. You always telling me I'm doing something wrong, but I'll be reading your question. Like what do you want me to do? Like, I don't want to reword it. I'm just asking it the way you asked it. But we don't get to you though. Let's see, Jay Smooth and OG Mark, Detroit lifer. Okay, can you wholesale commercial land in Detroit, Michigan? Commercial land.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm not as comfortable with evaluating commercial like I am with residential and other zone type land that is zoned in different worlds. But can you do it? Oh, most definitely, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. And I don't want to mispronounce your name, but Ritas Cannon?
I'm gonna go with Ritas also.
You said what now?
I'm gonna go with Ritas also.
Ritas, okay. Hello, this is my first live. Well, welcome to the live, man. You hustling today, okay? And I'll get some new information. And I'm a new partner. Welcome to the Flipman Partner Network. You own it. So glad to be here. So welcome, Ritas Cannon. Hopefully you will continue to join us and get your.
It may have just fit better for his schedule today. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Probably what it is. He can correct me if I'm wrong.
Gemini Ways, Laugh Out Loud, Torian sort of skim what I wrote, but it's vacant. Reaching out to the owner tomorrow when they're back for holiday. Want to be ready with the offer price, Jason, just in case. I think I did miss this one time. Trying to get this one for way less than Kiss. It's a tear down, only 600 square feet, but pretty big lot if I'm on the right track. But I still didn't.
Well, what are houses selling for in the area though? Why are you targeting that one in particular?
Let's see if she followed up with some derelict. That's what it's name. Okay. So I'm sure she'll follow up with that. All right, Stephen Vaughn, this outrageous Marine says, thanks for thinking of us on this day. I want to use my certificate of eligibility for profit, and I'm guessing my dog Ty can't help, or can you?
I think he means like a VA voucher to buy a house is what, I'm not you know what? Let's get all
or whatever.
Let's all get educated today together. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about, right? So we can all get educated together today. right?
Yeah. 'Cause I don't
Um,
know what it is either.
let me see here.
Sure, chat could tell us. And he said yes. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, let's see. Um, let me see. Are you familiar with veterans housing
Certificate
programs?
of
Which one?
eligibility.
Huh?
Certificate of eligibility.
With veterans housing programs. They offer a range of benefits like VA loans, which often have no down payment requirements, lower interest rates, and no private mortgage insurance. There are also grants for disabled veterans to adapt their homes and programs to help with rental assistance or homelessness prevention. Are you looking into any specific aspect of these programs?
What type of properties can you buy with it? Can you? It only needs to be a single family. Can it be a duplex, triplex, fourplex, as long as it's not commercial or what?
With a VA loan, you can buy various types of properties as long as you plan to live in one of the units as your primary residence. This includes single-family homes, condos, and multifamily properties like duplexes, triplexes, or fourplexes. The key is that the property can't have more than 4 units, and it must meet VA property standards. So you can definitely use a VA loan to buy a duplex, triplex, or fourplex as long as you occupy one of the units.
Okay, so now you just need to just go through the normal process of identifying a property you want to purchase and go from there.
Exactly. With a VA loan, you can look for single-family homes, duplexes, triplexes, or fourplexes, as long as you plan to live in one of the units. The next steps would be identifying a property that fits your criteria, making sure it meets VA appraisal standards, and then going through the usual purchasing process with your lender. If you're ready to dive in, it's all about finding that right property and leveraging those benefits.
Okay. I don't know if that answers this question, but there you go.
If you can let us know if that's your way of looking at it. Let me see here. Okay. Gemini Ways for it might be blocking because she was saying something. I took a look at the county records and they haven't paid 2025 property taxes. The 1.2 million is what the ARV, so between 800. But I never saw an address. So it might be that YouTube is blocking the address because I never saw an address for us to. We'll look at it, but I don't see an address. Gemini Ways, and we don't ignore you, so just get the address in there some type of way.
Mhm.
She said, "Oh, Torian Derelict. Derelict?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right."
Yeah.
And that's why I said go ahead and put it in there, and she acting like I'm not putting it on the screen. But the address is not in there. I don't see it. And Rita said that is correct. I guess this is best time to get on the lives. You're right about that.
Or his name. It might be.
Oh, okay, that could be too. Is it? You're right. You're right. And he's saying yes, that is correct. I'm a driver with a final mile delivery company, and I can't always catch your lives when I'm on the road.
Hey, go into detail on that for us, Aretas, about that final mile. I'm assuming it's Amazon or FedEx or something like that related. Yeah, go into detail on that. I would just like to know more about that if you can explain it.
And RL had followed up when he was talking about the pre-foreclosure. He said, "Heard what you said. The house is in a neighborhood where all the houses range from 400 to 460. The property shows a loan owed for 183. House is livable with minor fixing needed. Contacting them is hard."
There you go. Is the mailing address the mailing address on file still the same as the property address, or has that changed? Even it really doesn't matter. So hopefully coming soon, you'll be able to send them one of these to hopefully get their attention or even hand deliver one of these to them. So just show you how big it is, it's like that, right? So you can send that in the mail. There you go.
And Jay Smooth is something that I had to realize when I first heard about wholesaling is that he had said something like this. He said, yeah, and the off-market houses they have on the property raised it to 17 million. You could correct but my thought process when he's saying that is because when you're talking to that seller, you're falling in love with the deal. They're telling you all the stuff that's surrounding it. And the reason why I was talking about my situation is that when I realized that sometimes with a house, when it has a pool, sometimes that's a bad thing that it has a pool when you're dealing with stuff like this, because sometimes the person you have to take the pool up because you don't even want the pool. And I think sometimes that's what we get entangled in what the seller is talking about. You have to be looking at it like an investor does. So.
Oh, it's a very nice property. At the end of the day, it's thousands of them out there like that, but it still the numbers have to work. It's a very nice property. We could go all day just putting up nice properties. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I look at them
nicer than that one. Nicer than that one.
Yeah. So look, they go, especially you get them on the phone. Oh, they're gonna tell you everything that's amazing about this house.
It's like a very amazing property. You know?
It's an amazing property, you know. Okay, we did that when. Okay, we did this property, right? Yeah, we did it Jacksonville, Florida. I think she put it in again. And okay, this is my first time seeing B and R to millionaire. I have question wondering if anybody knows how to go about purchasing a property from a family member that's looking to sell soon. I like to buy it and keep it as a rental property, but it has an existing mortgage on the property. Should I try to wholesale the deal? So do you want it to rent or to wholesale or do seller financing?
All right, so you're dealing with a family member. So you got to know who you're dealing with, right? Number one, whatever that means. And then how are you going to purchase it? Are you going to use traditional financing with a bank / down payment? If you have the resources and credit to do that, or are you going to be using cash? Do you want the owner which is your relative, to owner finance it to you, whereas they act as the bank? Oh, he's saying seller financing. Okay, so, well, they're going to have to be open to doing that with you, right? If they have an existing mortgage on it, you're going to do it one or two ways. You can do it through a subject to existing financing where the loan still remains in their name, but they deed it over to you and you pay the bank. If they're going to be comfortable with that. The other option is just to do a lease option, a lease with an option to buy, or a rent to own, as you call it, or whatever. Are they going to be comfortable with that? So it's going to be one or two of those as far as owner financing.
You all right?
Actually, no, but I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember you told me you had fell out the bed that time. That ain't came back up on you.
No, I did. I tweaked my back yesterday. It's better than it was last night, though.
So Gemini always, let me just say this: like, if somebody tells me that a house is worth XYZ, my immediate thought is, who says that it's worth that? So that's the reason why sometimes we need to. I have to see the address.
Yeah, like
there's so many factors to say something is worth that. Whether to tell me whether it's a deal.
I'm saying, what is she trying to get us to do?
Well, that's what I'm saying, because she keeps throwing out these numbers and I don't see an address, and it gets confusing for me, because you're saying, to be clear, that's 800,000, 1.2. I'm looking at it because the city has deemed it derelict. It would just make it easier, Gemini ways, if we had the address, and then it would just make more sense. I know, to my mind, because it just seems like numbers to me. Even the fact that you're saying that it's one of those houses that the city has deemed as a terrible house or whatever, we still have to look at it. That's what I would think. You still got to look at it. RL, depending on the lender, they will also add up to 75% of projected income to your actual income to get approved for more. Oh, I guess I got the thing about the military.
Oh,
veteran.
the VA loan thing. Yeah. Okay.
All righty. And Annie Jackson, my first time seeing you here. How do I get the offer templates?
All right. Great question. So I'll show you real quick.
Okay.
All right. So what you'll do is you can go over to my site, zompz.com. It spells ZOMPZ. ZOMPZ. All right. So you go to Zompz, and if you go to Find Deals, and you scroll down, and here it is right here, create your offer. You put in your information on the property and hit download. An easier way of doing it is to just go with the address, right? And add it to Zompz. And you go over here to the window, the little Zompz window, hit create offer, and it fills everything in for you, including the offer. Now you can change any of this if you want to. It's up to you, but just roll with what we have here. So once that happens, you hit download. I like to name the property, right? As the file, name the file based on the property address. So where is it? So if I hit download now yours may not do this depending on the device. It's going to ask me. That's why I have my setting set up. So I put in the address. And so it downloads up here, the little download window, hit this folder. And if I double click on it, then boom, it's all filled out. Professionally, it's all filled out. So based on what I submitted. So there you go.
And I've gotten deep in the trenches. I guess we can do the topic.
Okay, so we can do the topic for today, which is, can you wholesale real estate without cold calling? All right, so let's go through what cold calling is. Okay, so whether it's a one-off where you've just found a vacant house, you found the phone number for a seller, and boom, you call them. They're not expecting your call. It is a cold call. They're not expecting you. They have no idea who you are. You're just calling them out of the blue, the cold blue. It's a cold call. Or you can have a list. You may create a list. We were talking about pre-foreclosures, a list of pre-foreclosure people in that situation. You got phone numbers for some of them or all of them, and you try to call them. That is considered a cold call. They do not know you. They're not expecting your call. Or it could be a tired landlord list. It could be vacant houses. It can be senior owners, free and clear. If you want to build all those type of lists, just text the word tool, and I'm going to get a video more detail. I'm trying to get it up here, if not today, well, not today for sure, probably tomorrow or Wednesday or tomorrow, Thursday, because I don't really have an updated video on how to build those different type of lists. But you can build those lists, and so you just reach out to them again out of the blue and just call. It's a cold call. Now, cold calling is not for everyone because it is a grind. You can just be picking up your smartphone to do it, or you could be using an automatic dialer that'll speed up the process, make it a lot more efficient for you. I am associated with one company that does that, which is Batch Dialer. You can text the word dialer to 205-964-5243 to access that. But so you say, hey, that ain't for me. I can't do it. I can't afford to pay a virtual assistant to do it for me, or I don't know anyone that will partner with me that probably would be good at it. So what are your alternatives? All right, your alternatives are you could have those same lists, and you could do text messaging. There are platforms that allow you to do that. Well, really only like a couple out there right now. At a high level, the one that I'm associated with, if you text the word, what do I have set up? I think SMS. It's either text or SMS. I think both of them work. You can access that platform to text message. Now, direct mail, which I'm going to try to get that video. It should be completely edited today. and get that video up on how to get into direct mail, the old just snail mail. What you have to think about with direct mail is it can be more expensive overall, and it may not be something you do immediately, but you can do one off, but just the response rate can be very low because it's just so hard to get people to even read your message, what you're sending out, whether it's postcards or letters. We're going to be experimenting with something later on this week that we'll see. That's a little different, but direct mail could be another option, right? And then you're gonna have your Instagram. What's the name? Instagram went down. You're gonna have your option as far as you can do Facebook ads or Google AdWords. Those could be pretty pricey themselves. So those are going to be some other options. And then, of course, door knocking could be an option also. Now, that's when you're really gator. It may not, and with door knocking, you really need to have a really good game plan in place, right? Because you want to be as efficient with your time whenever you're door knocking on who you're actually targeting. Probably works really well with pre-foreclosure because you're taking that extra step to get in front of those individuals that may be very, very difficult to reach, right? And so that's an option also. So you don't have to do cold calling to do this. Bandit signs, I forgot about those. Oh my God. You can do bandit signs also. That's where you put out the signs, we buy houses on the street, phone number, call or text. Those can be very effective. And then just networking. Some people will build a buyer's list through social media and just networking at groups or whatever, your real groups, meetups, and then they just feed other wholesalers deals to those buyers, those active buyers that they've accumulated. So there are a number of ways to generate leads. If I missed anything, I'll be glad to say, oh, I forgot about that, or say, oh, I never thought about that. So either one works. So there you go.
Definitely other ways other than cold calling. So Gemini Ways did put the address in, but before I get to that, I wanted to give you the answer that you asked from Reedus. He said, we deliver products for a few different companies, but the company that I work for does a lot of high value items like arcade machine, pinball machines, and expensive furniture.
But the last mile, I'm okay. I guess they was our last miles too, huh?
So is that a company name? I never heard of Last Mile. Is that the company that deals with Amazon or something?
Well, no. Last mile means like you've gotten it close. Like let's do it.
I'm like, I've never heard that term.
I may jack it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's do this. Where's my chat? Okay. So all right. New chat. In context of shipping products or whatever, please explain the last mile with fifth grade readability.
Sure. The last mile is the very last part of delivering a package to your home. Imagine a package traveling a long way from a factory to a warehouse, then to a delivery center. The last mile is the short trip from that delivery center to your doorstep. It's often the trickiest and most expensive part because it involves getting the package right to where you live.
Okay, there we go.
That makes sense. Okay.
I was going to say something similar to that, but
RL said last mile goes where full-size 18-wheelers can't.
Okay, I like that definition too.
Okay. Let's see here. Gemini Ways is, of course, getting on me, my tail. So we and I'm not suggesting Gemini Ways that your numbers are wrong. I'm just saying, like when somebody just starts throwing numbers at me on an address, I'll be wondering like what says that property is there. I'm not saying that your numbers are wrong, but we're gonna look at it.
Yeah, we're gonna look at it. Let's see. we're going to look at it. So let's see here what we got. Well, it looks like it's still up, but let's Google it. I think I already did that. So let's see how recent this photo is right here. If it'll load. Okay, that's from 2022. Block and have in 3 years. Looks perfect right there, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
So she's saying
have
it's.
you heard of the term derelict for houses? I'm just assuming it's like one of those houses that they.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've never heard that term used for those type of for properties, but that's
I
maybe
think I know. I think that's what
that may be what they title it in Denver.
in Colorado. Okay.
Yeah. So let's see here.
So it says 2.3. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah. Let's see. A lot of times you may not have a lot of buyers in that price range of higher houses. Let's see. Yeah, we got some good activity in here.
Okay. They buying them up over there.
Yeah, I think that Zillow. Oh, it must be. It's a lot bigger than those other houses that we're looking at. That's why that number is like it is. How many square feet? It's 20.
Oh,
Yes, it's double the size of those other houses. That's why it's giving that number. So what is she? I'm saying like what's the backstory? What's she trying to do?
let's see here. Let me go back because she's saying that the county records show that they haven't paid the taxes in 2025. The ARV is up to 1.2. So between 800 based on nearby new bills. So I think she's just trying to figure out what the house is worth. She said that's not the house.
I had the wrong address up. Let me see.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on, Gemini.
Oh, I got 43. Okay, I got 43.
My fault. Wait, okay.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. All right.
That's me.
All right.
That's me. You're gonna get jumped on.
Well, you said which one we was looking at?
I was looking at the wrong one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this house here.
Looks like a nice house. Yeah.
Yeah, this house. Okay, so yeah, okay, I see the difference now. All right, so let's pull it up. Let me show.
All right.
Yeah, so there we go.
Oh, big
Okay.
difference.
All right, but it's still on the same street. So now it's
Oh, yeah.
okay, so yeah, that makes
Needs
sense.
a lot of work.
Yeah, it shouldn't change much on these numbers though, right here. Though. Let me see. Well, probably you would just tear that house down, depending on what they want for it. Yeah, depending on what they want for buyers are, paying around 500 or so in that area. So I'm assuming. Let me see what they're selling them for. They're selling them for, a meal. So they selling them for $1 million. So if you get that house for maybe let me see, so that's 25. So yeah, you can get it probably for, I'm gonna say I would shoot for 100. You could probably go up to 200 and it'll still make sense to somebody. Yeah, because it's gonna be a tear down for sure.
Tear down, definitely. Okay. And let's see here. Okay, everything Sway is asking about saying thank you for that. And where did you get your callers from? Or is it all in-house? And what was that AI that you used to use to ask that VA question? Okay, so that's ChatGPT.
So say, what did he say? What was the first part?
Where did you get your callers from, or is it all in-house?
Um,
Cold callers.
Oh yeah, cold callers. Well, there are tons of virtual assistants or VA services out there. Don't confuse it with veteran affairs, but virtual assistants out there. I guess, recommend one to you. And then the tool that we were just using it's called Chat GPT. There are others out there. You have Gemini, that's Google's version of that. You have X, um, which is formerly Twitter. Their version that's called Grok, Grok. I don't think Claude talks though. You have Claude, and then you have Meta AI. I think it talks. That's Facebook's version of it. So they're those are going to be the main players right now. So.
All right. A lot of people active today. There's a lot of questions here. Let me see here. Stephen Vaughn, do either of you know about Josh Villarreal? He has content concerning our certificate, and he is helping, but I wanted my dogs to help me. Really want a fourplex. Reach out to your community to see if anyone helped me black. This black,
I'm not familiar with that gentleman. Is that just a local realtor to you or something, or what? Because the only thing you really need to do, if that's what you're looking for, is you can just use Zillow and just stay on it to look for stuff that's for sale. Hopefully, you can get a decent deal on it. It doesn't have to be a great deal there because you want to live on it. The rents just need to line up with what it's going to cost you per month to own it. I mean, to pay your mortgage or whatever. Obviously, the condition will factor in greatly on the purchase.
Well, I think he's talking about the certificate part, though.
What certificate?
The VA, like you asked ChatGPT about.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't know anything about that.
Okay,
That's just a Google search away again. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to go to YouTube and just put in how do I take advantage of my veteran loan option, of house buying option. There's going to be just tons of videos that's going to probably educate. It should be a lot of people just give that game away for free. I would be shocked if it isn't.
And Reedus did say that's how you pronounce his name, Read Us. And Charlotte actually was saying when we was looking in Jacksonville, Florida, she said that she gave us the wrong address and she wants us to look at this property. I think this was the Jacksonville, Florida one.
Okay.
I think your question to her is what did you want us to do? But I think she just wanted a comp on it. And finally, Jamina Ways said if we answered her question, she said thanks. There's probably going to be a teardown in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And she said hopefully that you feel better.
Yeah. Let me see. Present. Let's say present. All right. And so is this property right here? Okay. Well, let's just do this. This is where we approach it. What are buyers willing to pay for it, right?
Okay.
So you all can access this same buyers tool by texting the word feed, I think it is, FEED, to 205-964-5243. So 118, how big is this property? It's 17 square feet. Okay. So 118, pay 60 for that one. These are a lot smaller than yours. Pay 145. Let me go back in time. Not a ton of activity in here. Let me go back in time a little bit. So let's go back 2 years. See if it pulls more. Got one right by it. Hopefully it's an identical. Okay, they paid 100 for that, and so for 224. So I would say 92 up here, but I would try to get it if I can get this property. Look like it needs a ton of work or whatever, and it's a lot bigger than these other houses. If I can get it between 50 to maybe 65, you probably be able to sell it for anywhere from 75, maybe to 90, maybe to wholesale it.
Get it at 50, wholesale it at 90.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that answers your question, hopefully, Charlotte, on that particular property. And RL had followed up his thing about the pre-foreclosure. He said it has gone into auction status, but it shows multiple owners as of right now. The auction was scheduled for last year, so was trying to contact owner before the auction.
Okay. What's his question?
This RL. We've been talking to him about pre-foreclosure.
Okay.
You told him about sometimes it's hard to get in contact with those people, but he was talking
yeah, most definitely.
A lot of times you just have to get through that part because they won't answer. You might have to go in unconventional route to get them on the phone. You know, I think Gemini Ways has suggested showing up to a person's job, but I don't know if how far you want to go with that though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Get it on the gig.
Yeah. It's like, look, I've been trying to reach out to you.
You didn't.
No,
go ahead.
Oh, okay. Walt Ross. It said, "Morning, Flipman and Tori. Is this property kissable? This is in Fresno, California. Okay, yes, Fresno, California. We got a lot of $1.2 million properties that we've been talking about recently.
I got this. I got it up. All right. What I do? Okay.
It's yeah, that
one. This is a house. It's just dust in my house.
Yeah, the question is it kissable?
Well, the 35 views I sort of don't like. I like the short description, only 3 photos. So, let's see here, price history. All right. So yeah, that's a true number there as far as days on the market. Yeah, I would probably, I don't like the 35 views or whatever, but I would probably offer on it. So I like the low number of photos, short description. So it's being under marketed for sure.
All right. And Soul Soldier has a question. What is the best way to master the art of crafting land offers that sellers can't resist? It's an interesting question.
What is the best way to master the art that sellers can't? I don't know if that's a thing. I don't, it's so much of it's timing, man. Just where someone is right now that, this property may be an asset that either it solves a problem for them. Maybe they just tired. I can't answer that. Because so much of it is time. You can send quote unquote whatever that would be the crafted land offer. You just need to make offers, man. Just so much of it's timing. And the only way you're going to be able to capture your share of timing is you making a lot of offers,
Yeah, I had to address that, Gemini Ways. And then Sydney saying good morning from Arizona. Welcome from Arizona. That's where your boy, what was his name?
Jamil and Pace.
Jamil, yeah, that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that one. Okay. Rita said we also deliver medical equipment to Some very expensive medical equipment.
That's what's up. Getting some of that for you.
Thank you. And then RL has a question. What is a good site to find multifamily properties? Zillow shows a lot of duplexes, and I'm only interested in triplex and quadplex. Also, do you know any builders looking to build quadplex ground up?
Yeah, Zillow is going to probably be your best option on stuff like that because those are still considered residential. The commercial sites, they're going to normally focus on stuff that's 5 units or more. So, you're buying parameters or 4 units or, 1 to 4 units. So Zillow is going to be that's going to be your best option, locally for sure. I'm assuming you're trying to buy in an area where you already live. As far as the builder thing, I wouldn't have any idea on that. A lot of this stuff just Google searches away, my man. Just going to have to dive into the research on it or whatever. Just too many tools out here where you can just really dive into that. As far as if you want to build something from the ground up, then it starts with finding some land or a lot that will even allow it zone for that type of build or whatever. So, but again, as far as looking for those type of properties, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor going to be the best to see stuff that's on the market. Now you can always just target stuff that's off market or whatever and make an offer on stuff. That's an option also. But those are going to be the lanes as far as what I can think about off the top of my head right quickly.
Right. And Gemini Ways is suggesting to use the filter button on Zillow. There should be a multifamily as an option, as a property type.
Mm-hmm.
It's possibly one for quadplex. Phil W said lead mining has American cold callers want VAs. Okay. And Ritas is saying, I know that this is off topic, but I'm looking for a free CRM to get started, or is using Google Sheets or Excel best for no cost?
Yeah, those are going to be your best for no cost.
Google Sheets or Excel.
Mm-hmm.
Ritas is saying he's from St. Louis, by the way. Welcome from St. Louis. Home of your boy Nelly. Okay. BNR T2 Millionaire. Is there anyone I can reach out to help me strategize to get this deal with a family member home that I inherited from their mother that's looking to sell soon?
Yeah, you can just email me. I'll take a look at it with you.
Oh, so let me put your email on there.
Yeah, down scrolling there.
And Ritas has said, I'm still at the no deal done stage.
Hey, that's how you got to start somewhere, baby. Anybody you could think of always at that stage first. So, hey, you're doing the right thing by being here today. Let's get it.
Absolutely. And RL says, if Zillow is the best source, then it's really scarce. I do my searches before I ask. Okay.
What city are you in?
RL. Let me see if he's ever said where he's at, because sometimes people say where they are early in the Let me see if he did. Of course, he could be virtual wholesaling too, though. So there's that. But let us know where you're looking at the houses there at RL on the quadplexes. Rita's Cannon. So I'm trying to do anything that I can do for free or as low cost as possible.
Yeah, you can just manage. Google Sheets can be very good for stuff like that. You may want to brush up on all the features that it offers just by going through just some YouTube searches. Like you can just probably literally do a search for Google Excel as a CRM, something like that. And you're gonna probably have people with a lot of good tips on how you can use it and how you can create some automations with it also. I can imagine not being there.
And on Instagram, Rapture the Great One said, "What's the word, Flip Man?" That is Rapture the Great.
What's the word?
Yeah, what's the
The word for the day is J-O-B.
Job. Get your job, Craig. Friday. Everything Sway. How do you find people that are hard to find? I search Facebook and other sites to find family members, but it's 50-50. Should I run title searches and see if that gives me more info?
Title search is normally not going to do that. You could probably, if you're going to spend, if you got that kind of money to spend on the title search, if you were even considering that, there are some PI services out there, and they'll probably just do it at a punch of a button. You know what I'm saying? And find somebody for you, and it probably costs you less than a title search that wouldn't give it to you. So.
And Gemini Ways is saying, she said that, by the way, I used that amazing chat G to sort or run some numbers. Thanks so much for turning me on to it.
It was going to be a matter of time.
Oh, yeah, everybody going to be using it.
Yeah, or some version of it. It was going to be a matter of time. Google going to force you into it.
I guess in the scheme of things, some of the conversations that we've had in the past, it's some people that's never have gotten on social media. So I imagine there's still going to be people that ignore AI in the whole scheme.
Oh my God, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
You will lose. Okay, I'm just telling you.
No, you can.
Well, I guess you could do anything.
You have people, it just you can make a significant amount of money without using the internet or whatever. It's just you're gonna probably be leaving a lot of money on the table at the same time. If you're comfortable with that, then that's cool.
Because you don't have to.
Like I was telling you, like one of my homeboy that's in financial services, he leaves money on the table because he doesn't have an internet presence.
And he maybe have gotten to a place in his life. Oh,
he don't care. I'm just letting he knows it, but he don't care.
He don't care about that. Yeah. So said, are you familiar with the company Hip Camp? It is like Airbnb but for land.
I haven't heard of that one.
That's interesting. Okay.
Check it out though.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah. Hip Camp. Okay. What did she say? Gemini, that sort of run those numbers. Thanks again, man. That sort of run those numbers. Okay. And Rita said, what are the best free or low cost lead generation?
Free low cost. Text the word KISS to 205-964-5243. Driving for dollars is going to be another one. I guess that's considered low cost. You're delivering stuff already, so I don't know how much residential interaction you have. Just start to pay attention to the neighborhoods that you're driving through or whatever. So, even though you're being paid to do one thing, they actually be indirectly paying you to do another. So even the commercial properties that you're rolling up to, I don't know what you deliver to, but sometimes there may be opportunities there that you recognize that right there in front of your face because now. So.
And DRW Global.
You overheard something, but go ahead.
My fault. DRW Global Instagram is saying, I found great deals calling multifamily properties that are listed for rent by owner. I think you got a video like that where you targeting people that way. And target landlords are some of the best leads. It's a numbers game.
Yeah. That, and I'm glad they brought that up. That's like almost one of probably the best ways to do it. Because their contact information is already out there. So. That's assuming you're talking directly to the owner and not a property.
They're going to answer that phone when they rent. Answer that phone.
Well, they should.
They should. Michelle wants to know, should I get a broker's license? And she's in Chicago.
Well, the state of Illinois does require a license to wholesale, but it's not, that's the requirement, but there are ways to do it. You can just partner with someone that has a license. And then again, I get people responding where I can't do it here, blah, blah. So you got to think big, don't be so small, man. Okay, let's just assume what you're saying is true. We got this thing called the internet. It's an unbelievable invention. that allows you to go beyond where you live, right? Don't let that stop you. Just because they put a hurdle there and it'll be done, don't let that stop you. Because that's going to stop a lot of other people. That means you run to it. More opportunity, generally speaking.
And correction, this is Michael. It's not.
Oh,
I assumed it was a female. So Michael.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't even look at it now.
But I called it. I thought it was Michelle. It's Michael. Okay, we got you, brother. Gemini White said, I think it's good to use critical thinking, but Chat G is rocking. I mean, yeah, you still have to use your own head as well.
Yeah, for me, it's rare I go exactly what it says or whatever. It just gets me to thinking about stuff a different way or whatever. So that's what I like about it. Yeah, I didn't think about it that way, or I couldn't have said it better.
Right. And sometimes it's just helping me to get the thought out better, basically. You know what I'm saying? So it helps me that way. But you're right. You got to use your head too. And my fault is not Michael. It's Mixel. That's how they pronounced it. Mixel.
Okay.
We're learning. RL said, I'm virtual right now. I'm a commercial driver as well. So I guess just like the other gentleman. So I don't have a lot of time for local driving for dollars, but I'm looking for a property to stay in as well as making money from.
Is this the VA dude or?
This is the person that was talking about the fourplexes, quadplexes.
Okay.
Area he was in. So he's virtual. And DRW Global is saying, hey, this is D'Amica White. DVW Global is my business IG.
Oh, what's happening, D'Amica? We've done some deals together before.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Okay. Yeah.
She's up in Virginia, I think.
Virginia. Okay. So DVW Global is her business name. Okay. Well, welcome back to the live. All right. And Soul Soldier wants to know what would be the filters on Zillow to target commercial land lots.
They're not going to. That's not a source that you would use for Zillow. With Zillow commercial. Now you could probably do that if you're searching nationwide. If you put in there the keyword filter and put commercial and target land, they'll have some listings there, but that's not going to be a main source. If you're targeting listed lots, Crexy or LoopNet is going to be those, but that's a different ball game. So hope you got your game plan ready.
So you're recommended to do the commercial lot?
No, I didn't recommend that. We just answering this question.
Okay. And it's Michelle.
Okay.
I stand corrected.
Mixel thing.
So yeah, I said Mixel. So Michelle. Okay, I got you. Let's see. Just got in late. Welcome to the live. It's my first time seeing you here. Sean Horton, creator, just got in late. Will this live be posted?
Yeah, it always goes in replay mode on YouTube for sure. Like immediately afterwards.
Yes, sir. I think we've done.
Okay, man. I wish I had me some smoke coming out from back somewhere.
Hey, that barbecue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they say barbecue. I wish, but I don't.
Some shoulder or
some shoulder.
You like shoulder? I mean, I don't eat shoulder, but I know.
I don't even know what is that. What is it?
Pork shoulder?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what a lot of people do. Some people put it on the grill.
Yeah, to answer your question. I probably didn't ate it before this. Didn't know that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I stay away from it now.
Yeah. No, I ain't got.
What do you normally do if your folks doing barbecue? What do you get out of your chicken?
That rarely happens. But
Barbecue.
Yeah.
I guess it's a sub.
I normally don't go home on these holidays like Memorial Day, 4th of July, or Labor Day. So those are the barbecue days or whatever. So I normally don't go. So
4th of July,
yeah. So to answer your question, so I just got some I can't cook much. Don't desire to cook much, but I have you know what a manwich is?
Yeah, it's beef, right?
Yeah. Okay. So
also,
I get the ground turkey and
so you put the manwich sauce on it.
Well, salsa.
Is that what it is?
Well, it ain't much
Before.
different. The sauce is supposed to be a little healthier than the manwich in the can or whatever. So.
And how do you do your turkey? I mean, do you get
it? It's ground turkey.
Ground turkey. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like ground beef, ground turkey.
Gotcha.
So just cook it until put whatever season in there. And so, but I just eat that because I'm just trying to consume a certain amount of protein. So it was enough. It was 2 pounds. Well, probably about 2 pounds of it. So I just cook enough. I had some last night. I'm go downstairs. I might go get a salad.
You thinking about it right now?
Yeah, I'm go. I put it in 3 different plates. So I get one when we finish this. Lay it on this evening, and then at some point tomorrow.
Now you got me interested though. Do you make this sauce yourself? Because you talk about
when I was at Sprouts yesterday, I just bought the salsa with it. Just two large jars of that, and just once you cook the ground turkey, get it actually cooked and seasoned however you want, and just throw the sauce in there, let that simmer for a minute, and boom. I hate the cleanup of it, but that's about as far as I go.
But do you feel good after you clean up though? Right?
Yeah.
Looking at a clean kitchen.
Yeah.
Annie Jackson, welcome to the Live. My first time seeing you here. I forgot what the name of empty lots within the neighborhood is, but what would be the average offer?
Infield lots.
Infield, right.
Yeah, infield lots.
And what would be the average offer made in a D neighborhood?
Oh my God, like 520,000. Now, if you're in Los Angeles, that's different. A D neighborhood in Los Angeles is different than anywhere else. But Los Angeles, San Francisco, that general area, Los Angeles, Seattle, New York, maybe some parts of South Florida, Miami, somewhere down there. Most other places, when you're in a D neighborhood, D is in dog, hood, you want to just title that, you got to get that stuff so cheap. You know what I'm saying? Just ridiculously cheap. Like almost like they're giving it to you to have a chance to make a couple of $1,000s off of it. So.
Now, we have seen some cases where that's not a D neighborhood though, because I was about to say some 800,000. That ain't a D neighborhood. That ain't a D neighborhood. Rita said he did barbecue yesterday, but you have to tell us what type of barbecue. You can't just put that out there and then we hungry and we don't know what you made. Man. Come on now. And then the homie Ron has a property. He says it has an ARV of $355K in a mortgage absentee owner of $96K. Sounds like a deal.
Yeah, reach out to him. Let's see what's happening.
Yeah, that sounds like a deal. Yeah.
Reach out to him.
And Annie Jackson said, "Thanks, gents."
Yeah. Reach out to him. So we like people dropping off. So I guess they're going.
Yeah, you know how it go.
Doing to do their thing. So we'll
you talking about the turkey? They started. Hey, let me get something to eat. Rita's did say pork steaks, hamburgers, and hot dogs. That's what's
happening. All right, so enough. All right, well, we appreciate everyone that joined us on this day. A lot of people didn't know we were probably going to come on, but hey, bills still got to be paid, baby. Try to help you with that. So, again, thanks for everyone that joined us today. Go back. You can replay, share this about as much as I have. Thanks, TikTok, for joining us live. Thanks, and we will see you guys on FLIP SID.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Yeah.